Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, I'm in Jordan, not the model, but the country, so no need to tell Peter Andre. Somewhat surprisingly, the airport is some distance away from where I'm actually supposed to be staying. I should have checked it better, but I'm getting a cab there now. My friend here, who doesn't speak much English. Anyway, we're on the way there now. It's can't find out. It's 7 o'clock London time, but I'm not sure. And again, it's something with these little details I should have checked out. I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4 hours difference. I think it's 4 hours, in which case it is 11 o'clock at night here. Certainly it looks 11, but it could be 10. It's a little bit warmer than Britain, but not massively. I've got a light jacket on. I think I called that just about right. You know, the light jacket I only use for spring back home. Anyway, not too much longer. Gotta get there. I had to pay £20 for a visa, which I'm not happy about. Again, I read that, but I kind of semi-forgot it. So, so far I'm not too thrilled, but it's early days, and I knew this would be the least interesting part of the journey. So, not too much to film along here, I think. Say goodbye to you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, it's getting better, I would say. I mean, I didn't expect... You know, I mean, I know if you see this, Dad, you're going to say this is awful. From the Moroccan video and maybe Pakistan too, you probably hate this. This is Amman. I was just driven in from the airport. Now, I should really have thought of this. I'm well aware of the fact that most airports worldwide are not in the middle of a city. But turns out it was like 40 kilometers, let's say 20 miles away. So I had to get a taxi in. And the strange thing is, I don't think I was screwed, you know. But so far the place doesn't, and from what I've read before I came here, it doesn't seem to be particularly cheap on prices. You know, I mean, it's not expensive, but it isn't cheap. So this is the view from my hotel veranda. This has cost me just £15 a night. So this is actually somewhat better than I was fearing. We've got Wi-Fi in the lobby. But the thing is, it's cold. I know it's January, but it is quite cold. I got my light jacket on, which I wouldn't wear in London, I tell you not. But it is quite cold. Not cold for me, but cold for, you know, a Middle Eastern country, definitely. But anyway, I've got a veranda, I've got a view, I've even got a seat. Dan,
yeah.
So I'll fix my TV.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Okay, I've just finished having a lovely meal downstairs, outside. By this gentleman. So I'm just going here for a while. Okay, the guy seemed to be a little bit agitated there, but he wasn't actually, just curious what I was filming. But he couldn't speak English, and he was just talking to me in broken English, and it was quite interesting. None of them could speak English. This is now normal. This reminds me very much, actually, of Morocco and even Pakistan. So just have to get some fidget. Hopefully nothing too great, nothing too interesting. I think this is a restaurant I'm supposed to go to. Anyway, pause for a minute. Things have improved somewhat. I had a fairly reasonable meal, though it wasn't a particularly reasonable price. Certainly from a third world country you'd expect cheaper. And so I do think I'm getting a bit screwed slightly. Not massively, but just a little. Because I just don't know what to expect from the prices and so on. Buildings are quite interesting and they look quite nice at night. It actually reminds me more of Karachi right now, the smell of the place, the grime of the place, with the architecture somewhat of Morocco, or some of it. You have to understand this is Amman, which I think is the capital, and even if it isn't the actual capital officially, it is the biggest And this is a cop car, I think. Cop van. Ooh. Jordanian cop van. Am I allowed to film it? Nobody's stopping me. Nobody's going to stop me. Anyway. It's actually extremely cold. And it is January and it is 11 o'clock at night. But it's bloody cold. So I'm going to go back to my hotel, I think, and chill out. I've got to let people know that I'm here and see what happens next. Goodbye. Okay, good morning, fellows. This is the first full morning. I had a good night's sleep, I think. It is just before 7 o'clock local time. Breakfast should be served shortly. I think I might snooze a little while. This is the view from my window. Apparently, if I remember right, there's a Roman amphitheatre nearby. I assume it's got a cliff face here and some impressive buildings on top. I'm going to ask the local guy if he's going to see today, because the plan is, since I'm booked in I mean, it's pretty, as you can see, very much like Morocco or Karachi even. You know, a slightly tatty, grimy Middle Eastern city. So the plan is basically, I'm already booked into a hotel in Petra, or at least I've paid a deposit, only a few pounds, literally, I think it's £3 something. So no big deal if that goes to waste, but I am booked into Petra in the south tomorrow, so just need to get a bus tomorrow morning, I'd say, after breakfast, and that should be the trick. I should be there just about in for check-in time. Now, it's nothing great, but it's nothing bad either. The only thing I'm annoyed about somewhat is this plug here. I had to get an adapter for that, or the guy got an adapter for me, but it's, you know, not ill-fitting, and I managed to plug in my netbook and my phone into that, and there's a couple of sparks coming off the plug, so, you know, exactly the sort of thing those old 1970s thing government information ads told you not to do. But it worked fine, no problems. But the bigger thing is there's no English channels on this satellite. Gear 1, I assume this is some sort of British Arab Top Gear. That's what it looks like. But it was on last night, so I'm not sure if that's the name of the channel. So it's supposed to be a dedicated racing and car channel. But it's all in Arabic and I can't speak that, unfortunately. I'll just show you a little bit outside. The other areas. I've got a communal shower, but nobody else appears to use it anyway. I'm not sure if there's even anybody on this floor. Probably is, but I haven't seen anybody else. Because they gave me a choice when I got here of taking this room, which is what I booked, or another room on the second floor. I'm on the fourth floor for essentially £5 more per night. I looked at it, I thought no. And another reason I didn't take it was because, as I shall show you, it's a little surprise for you, I have a veranda. Now this is a bit more like it. Oh, you don't see the amphitheatre up there. It would be nice to have a view. Looks like the building's been partially demolished, and you can see there's the doors hanging off that lead into outer space. You can probably see it better than I can now on this screen. Now it's daytime. It's quite a long way down. This is a lot more dangerous than it looks, by the way, because I'm just holding the camcorder over the side. Anyway, at the moment I'm getting more happy with the place. I just need, it's a huge, I think, impressive city. So the problem now is I've only got a couple of days here. Well, one day effectively, that's what I'm planning, 1.5 maybe. Including today, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning now. I'm rested, ish. I still think I need to catch up on some sleep because I can feel still the bags under my eyes, but at least I did get some sleep. Anyway, this is I brought my wind-up radio, only the second time since Morocco. If you've seen the tape I made of Morocco. Unlike Morocco, even though there's fewer people here seem to speak English, or good English, than Morocco, but yet strangely yeah, this is what I was looking for. I could only find one in Morocco, Anglo-American pop type channel. But there seem to be loads of them here. Some sort of radio talking show there. This is look what else is on the TV. You see a lot of these channels you can't get. Hey, turn that radio off. So a lot of these channels that are on there you can't get, and they appear to be basically Arabic channels. So we got a system down in downstairs which is a lot more advanced, and we can get a lot of channels. You know, that's where people hang out. That's where the breakfast has been being served any moment. The breakfast goes on till 10 o'clock, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think I need to go out, have some breakfast and explore, get some advice, and also ask where I can get the best of Petra. This is one of those low balconies, and it's not that low, but everywhere I go, regardless, even the Museum of Wales, I'm always terrified by these low verandas, because, you know, I'm a tall man. This cave comes up basically to just above my waist. So, you know, I don't have to be that unlucky or thoughtless or to have a wet floor to, you know, have a bad accident and over the side, and that's it basically. So I won't be going out here too often, especially with a camera, because I've only got one hand free and I need to hold the side. Well, there you are, look. Proof. And it is quite cold today, and that might have been ice last night. Fuck me. Thought we're up to September the 11th again there. What the hell's that? Looks like a military aircraft. I hope Jordan aren't at war with Israel. I think they even set off a car alarm. Well, that was a little bonus, wasn't it? It's probably the best of Petra, that is. Anyway, there you go. It's Carl Pilkington's, Jason Pilkington's 7 Wonders coming up. What else shall I say? Not much. Yeah, there that way, the sun's over there. More or less. Anyway, goodbye. We'll do some more filming shortly, maybe an hour or so. Bye. Finished breakfast a while ago and spent some time on the net researching the town and the trip and talking to people. So I am fortunate and I made the good choice of picking the touristy part of town. There's a historic mosque way over there, or a big mosque anyway. I can see that, I'm not sure what it is. It's the thing I'm not having net access in my room. It works very well downstairs, but it only extends to the 3rd floor, and that's pushing it. I'm on the 4th floor and there's nothing here. Now, just walked into my room literally a moment ago. There's another mosque, a local mosque. Up there, and you can hear the call to prayer. I'm rather more secure and confident about walking around this balcony now it's sunny and it's dried up and so on. And also I'm rested, so this is the plan. My local, the reception guy, who seems quite competent and diligent, certainly served a very nice breakfast, or a filling breakfast anyway, all inclusive. Tells me the bus is Petra is not far from here. There's one scheduled bus at 6 in the morning and I'm not getting up for that, not least because I've paid for a night here, including breakfast tomorrow, but also I don't want to get up at the crack of bloody dawn to go somewhere. If I go at 6, I can expect to be there by 9 at Petra itself. It's a 3-hour journey, and I think I'd rather do that in between the hours of say 9 and 12 when I can see stuff, it's daylight. Anyway, time to explore the town and its local historic landmarks. I've got a map, so off I go. Bye. Okay, I'm just taking a walk up. This is a walk up from my local, up there, down there actually, on the left somewhere. Another local mosque. I'm going up the hill here to the Citadel, which appears to be, well, is listed as #1 thing to see or do here in Morocco. Okay, here's me going off again. I sometimes find all this stuff more fascinating though. I run down and tatty all these places are. And not just in the... This is typical, you know, of much of Arabia. Based on my... well, everything I've seen and read and also experienced in, you know, Pakistan, which I know is not Arabia but is part of the Muslim world. And also Morocco. Anyway, have a map, so it shouldn't be too that easy. It's that difficult rather to get back. All I've got to remember, this is typical of Britons abroad, let's remember the cars, they drive on the right here. So, there's another good view. Not bad, eh? Whoever lives at the top there has got a very good view. That's another mosque. I doubt I'm going to have time or opportunity to visit all this stuff, or a fraction of it. But even walking around some of these neighbourhoods is good. Anyway. Okay, I'm still on my way to the Citadel. I'm going to check out this road, but I think the actual Citadel is up the hill there, must be. It's on top, and I don't see any hill that way, but I'm just going to walk a little bit. But this is a pretty spectacular view, again, of the centre of the city, I believe, downtown, and, you know, apparently this is called the City of Seven Hills. I think Rome is called that too, but you can see it is plenty of hills. That vaguely reminds me of the view of Penarth from the flyover. Much more built up and higher, I think, but there you go. Anyway, this is the Roman Amphitheatre, which I'll try and go to later. It's on the other side of where I'm staying, which is just over there, so not very far at all. Yeah, I mean, it's my place is literally over there. You can see that's the buildings I was showing you last night. That's the topper part of it. It's the stairs, they go all the way up, I presume, to if you keep on walking to the top there. But this is the Roman Amphitheatre, so very, very old. There's some kids here. Hello, boys. One thing I'm always concerned about, a little, certainly in Morocco and here, because I was made aware of this, is filming people without their permission. I was aware of that beforehand, but in Morocco, one guy from a distance made it clear he didn't want his neighbourhood thing filmed. I don't know what exactly his business of his it was, but this is definitely the wall of the Citadel, and you can see graffiti on the side of it there. Most of it appears to be walled off or cordoned off. I'll go to the top here, see what else I can do. Must be a way in. Hopefully at the top. But I find all the neighbourhoods I'm walking through, with all their activity, all their people, more fascinating, or as fascinating. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. You speak English? English, you? Assalamu alaikum, my friend. That's all Arabic I know. Again, to bear in mind, actually I should be okay. Well, I've seen the Amman, much of it, even if only from a distance. To the extent that you want to see it, I suspect many people will not be impressed. I think you do need a tour guide around here to properly see things, and the use of a car. See what I can do. Again, I don't overdo this camcorder. I've got 3 hours 12 minutes to use. I could, I suppose, if I really wanted to, back this all up onto my netbook. That might be a bit of an ordeal. I want to save most of this. I don't think I've shot more than, say, 20 minutes already, and I'll be leaving tomorrow, and I don't think I'll still have 3 hours. So hopefully, roughly an hour and a half. Maybe an hour in petrol, I suspect, and 2 hours in tourist time, so I suspect that will be more, well, packed with culture, you know, in a minor historical level, but loads of it. This is the actual Citadel. Now what I just showed you is over there, just behind this tourist police base. Everywhere I go though, the kids, they want to talk to me. There's some kids down there, oh there were, hold on. Yeah, there's one of them. And they keep shouting to me, but none of them, unlike Moroccan, very few of them much English, or at least they seem not to, beyond a few choice phrases. At least in Morocco I could speak, you know, in French. And I'm not very good at French either, I could handle some, and they're a French colony, so they speak French. Here, it's odd. It's just somewhat odd in comparison. What is consistent, and if I'd shown you some of the neighbourhoods I'd walk through, well, you can see that just again the prevalence of satellite dishes. If you look down there, if you look carefully, walk through one of these neighbourhoods, and you know you can even see here the dishes are old, are huge and rusty. So they've been there maybe 20 years, and plus they've got the newer ones. So. And there's been whole books written and treaties written about this, you know, but the effect this has on people living in developing countries, looking at all this television and other ways of life and so on. But anyway, let's go over here. Not much I see that I haven't already seen, but it's all a bit Jason the Argonaut, especially that bit. Haven't even got there yet, but that's Rome, and I think I'll brief you when I've read up on it. Okay, now I'm actually in the Citadel. I paid just 2 dinar, which is £2, because the exchange rate is almost exactly £1, or it is when they take their fees. But the prices are a lot lower. I mean, to enter a place like this back home, I don't know, at least a £5, and this includes entry to a couple of museums, so I'd think more like a £10. So things are looking up. I was offered right at the entrance there a tour guide, I presume an official one since he's inside the gate. Spoke to a couple of police officers here in this place. Took a couple of photos, one of me with them, self-portrait because there's nobody around to hold it. But I was offered the chance of a tour guide, and after a little introduction, little sales pitch, it's 15 dinars, which is £15. Again, not bad, but I frankly just want to walk around, take it in. I don't need to know too many details, I don't think. Sometimes I can't take it all in anyway, but I was just reading it on Wikipedia, which I might do later. In any case, you've got these little information items in Arabic and English. It's an old water system, apparently. Rebuilt and reused numerous times, it says. There's bits of this go back, I think, to Byzantine times, so I think you're talking 1 to 2000 BC, if I remember right. Certainly Roman times obviously predates the birth of Christ, so 1 to 2000 years BC. Some of this stuff, not sure which, but very nice. And it's just a great place. I've only been here a few minutes, but it just seems like a really good place to out, look around, take in the view of a sprawling third world metropolis. And you don't really see stuff quite like that in Britain. It's basically a Muslim/Islamic world thing. Well, I suppose China as well, but a developing world thing. Bits of Spain, I think, look similar, because they were quite poor until quite recently. I think I'm going to start talking, start walking, if you don't mind. It's even like that. See, I like that. A bench, you can just sit there and take it all in. Great. You know, if this is right on top of the, by the look of it, one of the tallest bits in, right at the top of one of the 7 hills they talk about. So there's, that's obviously one of the biggest ones, that is higher than where I am. So, I mean, my objectives today, I think, are basically this place and the associated museums, that Roman amphitheatre, which is right next to where I'm living virtually, and the main shopping street, which is nearby. Beyond that, there doesn't seem that much that I should do. Maybe a mosque, a historic mosque, but I really just don't have the time. It's always the same with travelling. Just got to try and take in the broad picture. Hence all this. So this is very Jason and the Argonauts, isn't it? I was trying to talk about this to the police officer, but it's either is relatively limited English, though still pretty good, but more likely I think he just said my accent, plus the fact I talk extremely fast, as some of you may have noticed listening to this. Even when I listened back to myself on camcorder, I realise how fast I talk, because I sometimes have to play it back and say, what did you say there? And for a teacher, of foreign students, it's something I have to be wary of. This, I think, is a private house. Ooh. Yeah, pretty sure that's private houses. So I mean, if you had something like that next to something back like this back home, you name your price, wouldn't you? I have no idea if this is considered pricey or anything. by Jordanian standards, I mean. But so far, I mean, I was warned about the prices here, but so far I just don't see it. Apart from the cost of the taxi, which was not unreasonable even by, Jordanian standards, I suppose. No, I'm pretty sure I could have knocked him down, really, but I mean, I really just needed to get to this place. Maybe I should hire taxis in the future. And I really should have thought just how far away it's likely to be. I got used in Marrakesh, the airport is very near where I was staying because it isn't that big a city, maybe. But here, I mean, most airports generally around the world are near or outside big cities for obvious reasons. I think of Heathrow, how long does that take to get from Heathrow to say Stratford in a cab? I'm thinking it must be talking about 40, 50 quid surely. There's no way I'd pay that ever. Anyway, but I mean, for my 2-day stay here, I'm pretty pleased. Right, and right down there, in fact, so there's the amphitheatre again. Sorry, I'm trying to. It's quite sunny, but I'm having trouble sometimes seeing what I'm viewing. So I think that's it right there. So that would be Green Street, I think. Just go downtown and keep walking, basically. Getting pleased, more happier with it, but I mean, I hope that carries on. The only thing would be, I think there's a fee for renting petrol, and it looks quite exorbitant, I think. It certainly ain't cheap, we're talking about 90 quid or something for 3 days. I'm not likely to be back here anytime soon, because of the places I want to visit, and it's been 3 years since I've travelled anyway, so pay it and forget about it, and yeah. But it isn't quite the bargain I was hoping for. This gap here, like museum, and now she's walking, I think, home. I'm always wary about filming people. I'm not sure I'd like. Well, I wouldn't mind actually now thinking about it, but it depends on the circumstances. And you have to try and be respectful. I'm always mystified. Yep, it's her place. Or at least she's stopping there. Anyway, stop showing. That's the way to do a sweeping panoramic motion, and they can't complain. Bye. Okay, this is Temple of Hercules. I said it looked a bit Jason and the Argonauts, didn't I? But Hercules is a Roman god, isn't he? Hang on. No, he's a Greek god. What am I talking about? I don't know, I'm getting that mixed up. I think I read the poster saying it dates from 171 AD. So that's pretty cool. Not quite as old as you hope it was, but still pretty cool. I'm hoping I'm allowed to walk up here. Nobody seems to be stopping me. It's being cordoned off. It's all very. There's a scene in Jason the Argonauts where Jason, i.e. me, played by Todd somebody, goes to the top of this temple, which is in ruins, even then, and you got lights for illuminating it at night. Goes to a temple, and he meets basically somebody who turned into a Roman god. That's what immediately when I thought of when I saw this right from way over there. Again, once you're here, it's no longer quite as impressive. Yeah, you always visualise things, I do, as being even more impressive than they are. I'm very rarely so impressed. But superly, but impressed. Apart from the bloody wind in this, I always seem to be windy when I'm filming. We're on top of a hill, I suppose, can't complain. Okay, this is the outside wall of the citadels, which I showed you when I first started this particular section. I was walking up this road here. Or maybe that one down there more likely. So what I fancy doing actually, because I don't think I can go any further, I'm going to look, but it goes right down there. So I think I fancy, instead of walking all the way back round where I just come, which you didn't see, I might try climbing up these. Anyway, if I do. So this is the last you hear of me prior to me breaking a leg or something. You can say, Jason, what were you thinking? But I don't think you will. Oh, says Jason, jinxing himself. Yeah, that looks like a good place to walk up, I think. Alright, we'll need both hands for this. So here goes. Alright, made it. I think. Big enough for me to walk through. Yeah. Some more kids. More little urchins. Anyway, let's carry on walking. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the remains of a palace or a temple. It looks more like a temple to me with that huge open door. But it is the remains of a palace here. Don't know how significant they are. This reminds me a little of the ruins of Cosmeston. And Bath. So they should, I think these are Roman. Not sure. Don't see a signpost here. But there should be one there. Now, do I try and get down? Not down there, I promise you there. Okay. I think I'll go around. Okay, I did come down that little block of stones there successfully. Doesn't look that impressive, does it, when you're looking at it? Well, it isn't really, but you could slip and injure yourself quite easily. Besides, I'm not a kid anymore, what can I say? You know, grant me my little joys. Anyway, it is a palace, or was. It's pretty amazing. Now that woodwork inside looks fairly recent to me. Fairly recent, fairly modern. So, I wonder about that, but the rest of it is plainly, with the exception of a couple. You can see they've restored some bits there. Most of it is clearly very, very old. And very impressive under the circumstances. Anyway, it says on the northern side of the hill of the Citadel of Amman, a great palatine complex with an urban structure was built during the Umayyad period, the first third of the 8th century. So 1200 years old. The palace is formed by 3 different parts, a more public one including a large entrance hall with a bath related to it, a pool for water supply and a great plaza. 9 residential buildings with their access. Streets and squares are situated in the intermediate area. I'll read that, it's more interesting you to look at this, isn't it? Finally, at the northern end, the main residence was built with an audience hall, a throne room and 4 residential buildings with a layout similar to those mentioned above. The entrance hall has a cross-shaped plan due to the early existence of a Byzantine building, the rich decorative carvings of Persian Sasanian tradition showing the different influences of early Islamic art. Hello. Don't want to be mean, but always spoils it when anybody else is in one of these buildings but me. And this, being in here alone, in this place, and you can hear the echo, is a privilege. Yeah. It's all very Ark of the Covenant at this moment, which, bearing in mind, I'm going to see, or supposed to be seeing in Petra, the building where they portrayed the Holy Grail being kept in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Is somewhat ironic for me to feel that way. And that's fake, you know, it's just a stone facade. The rest of it is filmed, who knows where. This really gives you a feeling of history. And even then, it's only 8th century. Yeah, it's 800 years after Christ. And you can see again how much restoration has gone on with these new pillars. I don't know how old they are, not very, I suppose. A few decades at most. Might have been done, you know, a few years ago, but these bits, the unrestored parts, it makes you kind of sad. If that's what it actually looked like when it's brand new, compared to the one next to it, which is unrestored. Yeah, really, really nice being in here alone. Okay, I'm going to take some photos now, I think. Again, I've got the building mostly to myself. This is, not sure what you call it, one of the side rooms of the palace or temple. It's cordoned off, as is that area, and it's got quite a wonderful echo on it, as you can hear. I've still got a place mostly to myself. Go in there. And very similar in here. Now this is cordoned off, but I did go over it to put my camera on top of there and take a timer 10-second delay photo, which came out quite well compared to a lot of photos I have taken of myself, self-portraits especially. I don't seem to photograph at all well these days. Not sure I ever really did, but I don't know what it is. But really impressive and really quite privileged to be here in your own, you know, and just really let the history of it soak into you. Anyway, back up there now. I still haven't been to the museums either, let alone the amphitheatre, which is near me, and then I've still got to go to the shopping street and see what else I can squeeze in. Okay, this is the exterior of that building from the other side that we saw before. This is the Roman precinct. Okay. Now I've got some information here. Well, this is a general map, actually, of the whole citadel, which is the whole site. And I'm quite pleased with how sparse it is. Admittedly, it is winter, which is low tourist season, and it is certainly, I would suggest, by most Arab standards, cold. It's actually even a little on the cool side for me, especially with this wind blowing. But I'm quite pleased with how much space I've got for myself and how much time to soak up what's going on, especially for 2 dinars. I was hoping I could get in for nothing, but I wasn't expecting quite so much history in here, and I haven't been in the museums yet. There are 2. Still got to squeeze in that Roman amphitheatre and the shopping street, but it's only 2 PM here, so I have time. But I don't think I'll be going back until late tonight, certainly late evening. No, should I want to? I'd probably be tired, but that's how I catch them up on my sleep, is to have a really long day today, and hopefully I'll have a big deep sleep, have a nice breakfast tomorrow, off to Petra, enjoyable 3-hour journey, some of which I will doubtless film, and home to Petra for 3 days before I move on to Jerusalem. Not bad, eh? Okay, I've just asked for permission to film here, and it's been granted. Perfectly okay, I'm told. No camera or no flash photography at all. So I've seen some of these antiquities. I'm not sure if they've been found at this site. This is a fish because, as we all know, of course, the early Christians used to introduce themselves to each other with the sign of a fish, like a secret handshake, because it was not tolerated in early days. Not sure what these are. I wouldn't like to tell you what I think they look like. It says 5th century there. 5th century again. 6th century Byzantine. 5th century. Plaster and dolls for children, it says. Notice they've misspelt dolls slightly. With an extra L and an E. Sorry, an E. Shows how much I know. Anyway, I'll shortly be wrapping up my visit, I think, to the centre. It's still only 2:15, and it's been a pretty productive day, I felt. Just based on that, so I'll be leaving soon, I think. It doesn't say who that's supposed to be. It could be anybody, but it looks vaguely like Jesus. Or it could be Zeus, I think. 2nd century AD. I think these would be kept a little more securely than this back in Britain. Yeah, looks like it's just a basic cabinet like you put. It's got a lock on it, but I mean, something you put in your family heirloom or an antique in. Yeah, maybe a century or two old, not thousands. And especially fragile stuff like that. So much more recent, 12th century to 16th century. I had to think for a minute then. I'm still tired, don't blame me. Apparently this is Jordan's, according to the information I've been given on my little handout that they give you. The visitor's guide. This is Jordan's first public museum. Well, you can see the size of it. It really is a very small building relative to any museum I've been to. I'm impressed again that I can go around it and it's as quiet as it is. Admittedly on a working day in winter. But doesn't say what this is. That sign is in Arabic. 9th to 10th century here, 8th century down there. Again, I think you can move that quite easily. I'm not sure what that is, or if it's how old it is. This too. I mean, look at this, just standing there. I've cordoned off, not behind a case. I am pleased, I haven't even touched it. I'm going to touch it. I'm touching something. Ooh, it's wobbling slightly. Don't look at me if it breaks. I ain't paying for that, I'm telling you. Anyway, Jordan's first public museum, I'm told, and very recent. So, and technically, it isn't public, really, is it? In the extent that it's free. Because I had to pay 2 dinars to enter the site, and you can't get to this building without going in the site. Oh, well this is, again, touching that. Pottery found at Jebel el Qusur, I think you pronounce that. Iron Age, from 1000 BC to 539 BC, so that's up to 1,000 years before Christ, this stuff. Oh, it says don't touch showcases. I'm touching the showcase. I am touching the showcase. I'm touching that one too. I'm touching something that's 3,000 years old. Look at that. Or 2.5 to 3,000. Anthropoid coffins made of baked clay. Yeah, interesting you've cordoned this off. I'm not sure what you're going to do with that. You know, you can touch it. It's not as if that's going to stop you from doing anything. And in that temple, that palace entrance, I've spent a lot of time in filming and photographing. You know, I jumped over and sneaked a timer photograph of myself, just to show what a bad boy I am. Marble statue of Daedalus, found in Amman, Roman 2nd to 3rd century, so 1,700 years old, and that is pretty good condition, isn't it? And look, again, I can touch it. It says don't touch it, but nobody's stopping you. But if everybody does what I'm going to do, that's going to show its age earlier than it has now. Okay, this is the place I'll be visiting, at least that's the plan, tomorrow. And hopefully you'll see all this stuff, including that. This is the Treasury building, but it's actually just a stone facade. That's the extent of it, I think. You can't go into it. And that, in Indiana Jones' Last Crusade, was used as the front of the building, which is supposed to house the Holy Grail, the Cup of Christ. As I said, that is the extent of the building, but it'll still be nice to see it and touch it. Again, this is the smallest, definitely the smallest museum I've ever been in terms of the size of the building, but it's stuff of antiquities. And you can walk around them, touch them. Even if it says, actually doesn't even say you can't touch these, but and these are actually, cases are actually empty. Still waiting to be filled with stuff. Seems to be filling up all of a sudden. Anyway, I think that's enough. Alas, poor Yorick. Looks like a real skull to me. He's doing his daily prayers. That's the museum receptionist. Hope I wasn't intruding on that guy by videoing him. He didn't notice me, which is why I only videoed him for a brief moment. But I thought that was an appropriate end. And it is, as you can hear, another. You may be able to hear faintly the sounds of a mosque call to prayer. This is at the entrance. I didn't read this before. Dear guides and tour leaders, explanation is not allowed. I'm not quite sure what they mean by that. I get this a lot in London from old immigrants who run shops, that they print up something and they don't really know written English that well. I mean, this is people living in London who run shops and so on. So, and it's cooperation, well, it's not his cooperation, but it's usually a hyphen, isn't it? Co-op. Oh yeah, they've misspelled operation with an O, O-P-O. Sorry to get all panicky. I'm not making fun. I'm just noting this. Attention, please. Photographing is without flash. which is what they said, no flash photography. Anyway, I think that's a site. I'm going to look around again, then I'm going to go down and I think try and find the Roman Amphitheatre. I'm going through bloody space on this camera, I'm telling you. It's down to 2 hours 38. I don't want to be having to upload this to my netbook to make room on this camera. But this is the remains of a Byzantine church from the 5th century AD, 6th century. Sorry, 6th century, yes. Semicircular apse in the eastern area of the building is separated from the church by a chancel screen, it says here. These were taken from the Temple of Hercules for use in the Basilica, and the aisles are paved with flagstones. Now there's another mosque over there, you might be able to see it in the distance. Clearly, I think the call to prayer coming from it. It is pretty moving, I must say. So I'm going to make the announcement now. They stopped the recitation. This is the eastern, or the north side of one actually. Let's say it's eastern. Got a 1 in 4 chance of being right, I think. It's in the west. Still 25 to 3, so we have plenty of time to make it to the amphitheatre, and then can leave all the strolling down the street until later, because I imagine, well, this place closes at 4 I'm in now, so it's just like being at home really. Museums aren't open that late, presumably there isn't enough demand. An uncovered cistern from the 8th century. What the hell? Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm not going to bother reading that, maybe you can. So this is the palace again. Well, entrance to the palace. Yeah, they don't want to let people in there, do they? If you fall in that, you'd be severely injured. Break a leg, certainly. Or worse. So that thing is coming from this... There are mosques all around, you know. I think that's the main one. You know, another one over there. It's actually pretty incredible in the centre of all this. It's something I didn't anticipate. So I'd be here, and he's got these. I'm surrounded on all sides by mosque, which I hope you can hear this as well as I can. I know there's a wind blowing, so that may disrupt it somewhat, but it's coming from all around, from multiple mosques and all around the site, and different parts of the centre of town. It's a 8th century bath. And these are the individual bathrooms, I presume. got steps there which walk all the way down, and there's nobody really monitoring. That's the thing about these places. At least Jordan, and I think to an extent other places, they aren't really monitoring stuff anywhere near as much. And admittedly, Jordan isn't a hotbed of terrorism. It's right next to Israel, which is why I'm going to be using it. This is why I came here, to go to Jerusalem. And this city had the closest airport after I missed my flight the other day. But I could certainly get through there and walk down. Should I chance it? I think I could. I'm not even sure that down there is going to hold my weight though. And I'm concerned I'm going to fall over. Alright, well, let's see. I'm still in two minds whether I should do it, only because I'm not likely to be back here again. At least any time soon. And, oh, I'm sorry, what have I done there? Ignore that. As I was saying, I'm not likely to be back here anytime soon. So I was just thinking about strolling down those steps to be down there. And it doesn't look that impressive, maybe to you looking at it, but it's clearly cordoned off. There's no sign saying you can't enter it, but I mean, clearly that's the intention. And things are a lot hairier in a situation than they look. Is a distinct possibility if I try and do it. Small but distinct possibility of slipping over the side, even if I keep to the left. And if you fall down that, clearly that's what, from the top, that's a 30-foot drop. And you will be severely injured, no doubt about that. But also there's a couple of cops up there, tourist police looking after it. But I still think I want to do it. If only because, how many chances do you get to break the law, break the rules? So I don't think I'm going to do it. See if there's any cops around. No cops. There are a distinct number of people though. Okay, I'm walking down quickly. Quicker than I thought. Okay, I'm here. For what it's worth. Stone is solid. This is obviously just local water rain build-up. Okay. Right, well that's a good thing for me to do, wasn't it? Now the thing is, can I get out without being bollocked? There's nothing for me to say, even in Arabic, that you couldn't do this. But I don't think you're allowed to. Well, I know you're not allowed to. I mean, look at that wall. It's too dangerous, isn't it? Anyway, I'll take some photos and I'll go out. Okay, let's see if I can get out here without being bollocked. This is going to be a hard thing when my head peeks up above here. Nobody. Okay, here we go. Not sure if those people over there spotted me. I think I may end up having to copy some of this to my netbook at this rate. 2 hours, 29 minutes to go to Petra and Jerusalem, not counting everything else. I have to ration myself and just film things rather than doing these little travelogues. Right, I'm going to go back in there, the Citadel, the palace, then leave. One last pic of the site from, I think, the highest spot in it. Just about, well, maybe on there would be. In fact, speaking of which, Now, I'm on the highest peak in the place. It's just like any place would be on top of a hill like this with so much surrounding it. And the sun coming in, and even though it's really quite cold, my hands are cold. I've got my hand gloves packed, but I don't really want to be taking them on and off all the time. It's really lovely. Regardless of what was here, it would be really lovely. You know, and all this stuff. It's really wonderful. Anyway, I've got to move on to try and catch that amphitheatre before it closes, and then go window shopping. Rainbow Street. Bye. Typical third world traffic. I'm standing on a divider in the centre of town. This is pretty much the centre of Amman, Jordan. So I mean, this is as busy as it gets, I suppose, for Jordan. Bordering on Piccadilly Circus. And this is the Roman Amphitheatre. I've got half an hour or so before it closes, I think. Not long enough, really. It really isn't. I might have to squeeze some time in tomorrow before I leave. Anyway, they've got a cab back from the top of there. 3 different cabbies. Eventually, one said one dinar, which is £1, to take you back down instead of walking all that way. So I thought, okay. Somebody's shoe. This is the Roman Amphitheatre. Oh, sorry, that's the area surrounding it. This is the Roman Amphitheatre. Again, only open for half an hour, so I think I might come back tomorrow, I think. I'm just gonna hustle around it, okay? Take some photos. Okay, this is the Roman Amphitheatre. These 2 guys just took my photo. At my request of me down here. This is the Roman Amphitheatre. It's only open for a few more minutes. I thought this might happen, spending all that time. They closed at 4. But you can see it's very, very impressive indeed. I mean, its impression is that you could fall right down there. You couldn't, of course, but I mean, it's like that area down there drags you in. That guy right there is an elderly tour guide. He's waiting at the entrance, and in a stuttering voice, you know, very old man, even though he probably isn't that old, maybe, I doubt if he's more than 65. Kept on trying to, you know, like a Moroccan, the Moroccans always did attach himself and say five dinars, which is £5 for a guided tour, when he could hardly speak, let alone in English. So I kept trying to brush him off politely, but you know, a guy like him, he should be in Britain, he'd be at home, you know, tucked away, tucked up in bed, watching bloody TV or playing bowls occasionally. Makes you sad. Makes you sad to push him away, but you know, you gotta learn your lesson, you know. You know, the cabbies are, you know, I've already, you know, just walking down there I was offered 2 cab rides, 2 Petra, 75 quid basically. The bus is 10, and I think I'll have much more fun as well. I hope so anyway. I'm not paying 75 quid, that's, you know, that's basically, I'd say, 4 days expenditure here. For me, I mean. But anyway, this is the amphitheatre. I don't think I'll have time to come back tomorrow. I might do, it's only down the road, literally from my place. I can film it. I showed it to you last night, I think, from my building. Can't quite figure out where it is though. There's one of these buildings right there, over there, just behind the walls, I think. And there's the Citadel on top we were at earlier, I was at. So there you go. Still a lonely guy in the middle of it, waiting for somebody to pay him 5 dinars. Okay, this is a fairly typical, I think, third world or Middle Eastern scene. Absolutely chock-a-block with markets and market sellers all along this road, right back to my hotel. I've been walking for 25 minutes. So, a lot. Strange I haven't seen anywhere to eat. It's really odd. It must be tucked away, but it's really weird. But furniture shops, antique shops, they look like, it's very odd. Not odd, but I mean, there's no place to eat. Okay, just had to show you this. This is a gun shop. I don't want to go in the front because the guy might object to being filmed. But there's a gun shop there, a proper honest good gun shop. Another one across the street there. And down there too. Gun shops. A bit who've strolled onto Gun Shop Street. Good luck with bloody getting one through customs though, Jason. Yeah, I fancy an Uzi. An Uzi 9-meter. If you're interested, that was £700 or 700 dinars. So that's the starting price. I suppose I reckon I can get a third off for that. But nobody speaks English here. No, he didn't at all. It's very odd. I asked this last night on the cab ride in. Brad Pitt's face on what I think is a hairdresser's. Pretty sure he didn't authorise that. You hear that? It's two competing mosques local. At least. One up there, one down there.